where it said the game's name would be Village, and then it cuts off Resident Evil 8.
Dude, they got me good with that one.
Yeah.
They got me so good.
That was really cool, but I'm hoping that it deals with that stuff and kind of talks more about the Baker family from Resident Evil 7, even though like I know what's going on with them, I know what happened, but if you're coming into the entry without playing 7, I hope it kind of talks about that stuff because it's really important. It was a really cool series of events. But Resident Evil 8, man, 2021. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to what you have to say about 7, Chris.
I think I'll actually have maybe not an in-depth review, but I will give my impressions on Resident Evil 7 when I play it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. I'm sure we will.
Dude, that all right. So Resident Evil 8 sounds super cool. A lot of fans of the series, evident by how many freaking titles there are.
Yeah.
But this new game, completely new, out of nowhere, Pragmata 2022. It's coming out in 2022, right? Pragmata.
Yeah, 2022. Pragmata. So the way I took it when I was watching the trailer was, did you not like Dead Space 3? Well, this is the forgiveness for Dead Space 3.
Please forgive us.
It looks cool.
It looks so much better. Like everything about it reminded me of what is oh man, the Metal Gear Solid guy. What's his name?
Hideo Kojima. No, Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima.
Yes.
It looks like the same kind of aesthetic as of the game that he was making. Dang it, I can't remember the name of that game now.
Like Silent Hills? Or
no, what's the name of the
Metal
game?
Gear Solid?
He split off from Metal Gear Solid, made his own game.
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding. This looks like Death Stranding, like a lot about it, right? Like the very mysterious stuff going on. No real voice over for the trailer.
Yeah.
Not much is known about it, right? Like it just shows the guy in a spacesuit and he's like fighting with some unknown entity or stuff that kind of corrupted Earth.
Yeah.
And
before that, it almost looked like he was in this like Truman Show, like this fake city.
Yeah.
Because he like breaks through the dome and then it's space. It was really cool.
The little robot girl too.
Yeah, I think there was a cat. I think there was a cat in that too.
There definitely was a cat. There definitely was. There was an adorable cat. I mean, some of the tech that he had almost gave me like Division vibes, and his design overall I really liked because it reminded me of a Titan from Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Especially the helmet.
Yeah, I could see that. It was really similar in design for sure.
And that cool like backpack thing going on with like the arms and
this is like
cool stuff shooting out of it.
This PlayStation 5 event is the event of cute animals and backpacks. That's for sure.
Yeah, we don't know if this cat is playable, but we'll get back to you on that.
But if he is, he's probably a detective cat. He probably solves crime.
They would be the ones missing out if they didn't have the cat.
So the other thing that I kind of like thought about from watching the trailer was like it seems like whatever it is, the society that was around it has fallen because this satellite comes crashing through this, the Truman Show barrier that was projecting the sky.
Yeah.
And it kind of seemed like everything was in disarray, like society has collapsed.
Yeah, very dystopian.
But that might be cool.
That's where I think the game might be tricking you, because at the end of it, when they somehow arrived on the moon with the like human-looking little girl, like on Earth, there was still like lights, like you could see like lights in the cities, like from the moon. So it's like that's where like that's kind of I think where like the twist is like, is there something wrong with Earth, or is it more like a Truman Show kind of thing? Like what exactly is going on right now?
Yeah, or it's almost like, I know it's like a stretch, it's almost like Outlaw Star shit, where it's like that kid might be like Malfina. She's like this weird alien creation thing, or she's like the key to existence or something crazy.
That's going to make a lot of people excited.
That's going to make me excited. I'm excited now that I thought about that.
So yeah, I'm not saying like all society collapsed, right? I was just kind of saying like whatever society they were in kind of collapsed. Like like whatever was managing them and their life structure, like their ecosystem,
Yeah.
has fallen apart.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I want to see more, but this is a PlayStation show. A PlayStation show wouldn't be complete without Horizon Zero Dawn.
Leaving stuff out.
Yeah, leaving stuff out, but also Horizon, the news Horizon that looks like it's.
Oh yeah.
It's dope, dude. It's
You
completely
know, I
new
that
haven't
looked
played
environment.
the first one. I haven't played the first one, but
Well,
I
you'll,
might have to.
you'll be able to play it because they're porting it over to.
It's on Steam, I think.
Well,
right?
the placeholder's on Steam, but it's coming out later in the summer.
Like,
So
I think I might know when, like around the time it'll be coming out, because I didn't know this, but there's actually a comic that takes place after the events of the first Horizon game,
Oh,
and
that's
that
rad.
comes out in July.
Oh,
So it would make sense that they would at least try to maybe shoot for that to either spike up sales for the game or for the comic,
right.
like release them in somewhat of like a similar timetable. But who knows?
Yeah, but this
Like
game,
the game over, it looks beautiful.
yeah, this game
Yeah.
was cool. We saw new things. We saw enemy tribes. We saw fucking robot mammoths, which was super
Yeah.
rad. I marked out pretty
I
hard
mean,
on that.
not much to say, right? It's like it just looks great.
It looks great. It looks
Right?
better than the first one, like visually, obviously. But another thing that we're looking forward to for sure. Another thing that I'm just like, man, Horizon, that was tight. Now we get another one. That's like a Spider-Man thing, you know. It's like, oh, Spider-Man was cool. Now we get another one with Miles Morales. Oh shit.
Exactly. What I think is crazy too is like obviously this game takes place in the West Coast because like you see like the Golden Gate Bridge and everything,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's supposed to like the water and like water excavation is supposed to be like a major part of the game, but like you can see the difference between like the West Coast and East Coast in terms of like the robots,
Yeah.
because like the robots in the West Coast seem a lot more grounded, where it seemed like on the East Coast or maybe mid, I don't exactly remember where like the first game took place, but that was more like dinosaur.
Yeah, it's like like a bunch
Robots.
of pterodactyls and stuff like that,
Yeah.
like weird armadillo-looking things. Yeah.
So it's gonna
I
be
get it.
it's gonna be curious to see how like the combat differs.
Yeah.
So Horizon's gonna be dope, right? We know what to expect. It's just gonna be like more of like the fun, cool stuff that we've already seen.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm actually super excited for, it looks so adorable, is Kina, Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah. Yeah. That looked cool.
Right.
That,
And
that,
I think Chris here has a lot more to say than we do, but like I don't know, it looks beautiful. The combat looks straightforward.
Yeah.
Interesting story. Very adorable Pixar graphics.
Yeah.
Soundtrack was freaking great. It's probably very story driven.
that staff looks super
Um,
versatile, man. It turned into
yeah,
a
I'm
bow and
excited about
arrow.
that.
That was cool.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then it's by these guys called Ember Labs, which Chris actually has a little experience with. He has nothing but good things to say about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, very very good studio. This will be their first major game release, and they're better known for doing like animation work. They have videos on YouTube. Their YouTube channel is Ember Lab, and they have their Zelda Majora's Mask. It's like, I think it's called Terrible Fate. And my personal favorite from them
is that who did Terrible Fate? Sorry to cut you off. That's who did
yeah,
Terrible Fate?
they were the ones who did that, and I
That's
remember
cool.
seeing that animation for the first time, and I was like, dude, these guys need to make a game.
Yeah.
And especially after they have another one, it's like a short film called Dust.
Right.
And if their storytelling in the game is anything like in Dust, phenomenal. Like it's going to be a phenomenal game. I mean, Cody was even saying that the game looks like almost like a Pixar movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a lot of that too. Like a lot of these things are looking really good. Like they're moving as if they were movies, or they're moving like perfect, you know, as if like it's all, every single frame we could possibly see is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and it's fluid, it's awesome.
Yeah, the crazy part about it is that even though, at least from what we saw, because we don't know if like what we saw was gameplay or like in-engine footage, and I mean, some of the movements kind of had that like awkward Unreal Engine 4 like stiffness to it.
Yeah.
And like the combat seemed like simplistic in nature, at least from what we saw. But it's like you can see like individual pieces of the character's hair moving, like the clothing moving with the movie. Like it's just so detailed in everything that it does that it's like its beauty kind of almost like overshadows like some of the like simplistic nature of the gameplay that we saw.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about like the beauty.
It's going to be very environmental.
You want to talk about the beauty? Yeah, environment. I was just going to mention that. You want to talk about beauty? The environments are beautiful. You know what was the dopest thing I saw? I saw like the ground was corrupted and she was fighting this monster, the main character, and she like did this Super Saiyan blast. She like ah, and then like it showed her teeth, and the teeth were well designed, and then this big explosion comes out, and she like tears away all the corruption. And it becomes this nice, wonderful, beautiful forest with all this texture and particles and animals and shit flying everywhere. It was really cool.
Yeah, and it's not just an over. Sorry.
No, go for it.
But I was just gonna say, like, it's not like an over, like an instant, like everything changed. Like you can see the gradual change in like every element of the environment as it's changing, and that's what blew me away. That's why I'm surprised that the game, like when I found out the game wasn't made in Unreal Engine 5, which is what a lot of the PlayStation 5 games are touting, that this is made in Unreal Engine 4.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's really cool.
No, I like the little adorable little things that follow her around, like just how she looks,
like little pigment.
Like all the magic, like everything about it looks so good, and I especially love how like how versatile it looks like her weapon is. Like she's gonna use the same weapon the whole time. Yeah. And it can like transform into a bow or something, you know?
Or like
you can see like the inspirations that like the character and the environment has from like various like Zelda games, and the dynamic between like the character and like the creatures in the environment. It has a lot of like that dust feel to it, which I highly recommend anyone listening like goes to the Ember Lab YouTube channel and looks up that video, because it's phenomenal. But literally the best part about the game is that it's coming to PC.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So
which brings us to like another huge thing is like, look at like these guys are really talking about crossplay, right? Like,
yeah. But before I want to get to talk about crossplay, I love crossplay. I wish more things had it. Before we talk about that, we talked about a lot of cool things from PlayStation 5, a lot of cool games, a lot of cool and not cool things, but I felt like there were some things missing, right? God of War 2, god damn it. Where's my Santa Monica Studios with my God of War content? All right.
The Bloodborne remaster wasn't there.
Bloodborne remaster wasn't there, but everybody's talking about it, so for the love of God, somebody talk about it. That is important. I didn't see Soul Reaver. It's something that I really wanted to see. I talked about it a little bit last podcast. I really wanted to see Soul Reaver because that doesn't get enough love. Goddamn Medieval got a remake, but Soul Reaver doesn't get one. Somebody needs to talk about Soul Reaver.
Killzone.
Yeah, Killzone. That'd be dope to play.
Killzone.
I have two bones to pick with Sony right now. For one, where the hell is my Resistance remake?
Yeah.
And for two, I knew it was a long shot, but I was really hoping that they would come out and announce Shadows of the Colossus for PC.
Yeah, that'd be rad.
I want that in my life.
So, Resistance is a huge thing, because I know a lot of people want Resistance. 2, it was their flagship title for the PlayStation 3. I'm going to say it. It's the reason PlayStation 3 sold so many damn consoles, even though it was
never played it. Never heard of it.
Way expensive.
Oh my god!
Resistance is tight. You're missing out. Another point. Resistance not related. They didn't show Yakuza 7, and I got a bone to pick with them because even crazy ass Microsoft and their frickin' refrigerator showed off Yakuza 7. Yakuza's always been on PlayStation, all of them. Every single, even the ones that didn't make sense, like the Samurai one. But we see nothing for Yakuza 7. and I'm super pissed.
Never heard of it.
You're missing out too. Both of y'all are missing out on some good stuff.
All right. There's a few things missing we're upset about, right?
Yes.
What about PlayStation All Stars?
Shut up. PlayStation All Stars Ultimate.
Twisted Metal X, dude. Come on.
Oh,
I would be happy with another Twisted Metal game, but Destruction All Stars makes me just as happy.
Yeah.
No, but for real, like going back to the crossplay, dude. It seems like they're lobbying for it really, really heavily.
Yeah, and we've been talking about this.
Yeah, hopefully people's like other companies like Switch or Nintendo and Xbox, Microsoft want to play along.
PlayStation's been the one that's been like playing hardball this whole time for crossplay.
I've heard a lot of different stories. It's been them, or other people. But...
Well, I mean, PlayStation's the one that has the most exclusives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
At least from what I've seen, it seemed like Xbox was so in favor for crossplay that it kind of feels like they were only doing that to try to appease to the community and them thinking that Sony would never back it. And I think that's in Sony backing it is almost their way of saying, all right, Microsoft, the ball's in your court now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And, I agree with that, especially with like more of the Microsoft things that are going on. Like they're pushing for crossplay because they have that market where it's like Xbox and Windows PC.
Because what comes next, right? After this whole crossplay charade is done, people are going to start demanding the end of console exclusives.
Yeah.
Because now that they can play games with anyone on any console, they're going to be like, okay, well, why do I still need to pick one console over the other to play the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just not never actually going to come to fruition because, these companies actually have their own studios and it would be like there'd be no reason for them to pay people to develop games for other companies,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it would ever happen, but I could see that being like the next thing that the community tries to like push towards. But what I could see being more realistic is possibly like be it Sony or Microsoft maybe Microsoft actually already has its own platform, but maybe Sony partnering up with like Steam or something and maybe starting to release their exclusives on PC.
That'd be cool. I'd be up for that because as soon as like console exclusivity is gone, I don't think Xbox will have anything to put out. There won't be like, oh man, I should go get an Xbox Series X. No, like, oh, come on.
Like, yeah, 'cause they can't even use Halo for that anymore because even Halo Infinite is releasing simultaneously on console and PC.
Yeah, and Halo 3 is coming out for PC pretty soon anyway, so it's like you don't even need to play anything else. It's over.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, crossplay is one of those touchy subjects. What I'm going to do is if the audience wants to talk about crossplay stuff, I will put that on our group page, our Facebook group page, or I'll put it on our new website that we just got. The links to that will be in the description. Come talk to us. And we have a Discord channel that we got for our audience as well. So if you want to just come in, all the links will be in the description. Hit us up. We're always down to talk.
Actually, one more thing on crossplay really quick before we table it.
Yeah, bring it on.
I do want to keep the community as informed as possible, and I do want them to know that between PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, Destiny 2 will have crossplay and will be available on the PlayStation 5 at 4K resolution running at 60 frames a second. And if you have the game on PlayStation 4, you can upgrade to the PlayStation 5 version for free. And with their, cross-save functionality, everything will be carried over for free.
So that's cool. You know what? I talk a lot of shit about Destiny, but for that to be as easy and compatible as it is, good on them. I can't be mad at that. For sure.
Yeah, like kind of shows that a lot of their greedy stuff that they were doing at the start of Destiny 2 is probably actually just Activision.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have to play Destiny 2 anymore because I already got the best emote in the game, and that means I win. I already got the John
The
Travolta.
ramen noodles bowl?
No, I got the John Travolta. Like what? Huh? What?
That is the best
that's a good
emote.
one. That is a good one.
So I got that. So it's over for me. But it's nice to know that other people are gonna be able to play Destiny the way they want to.
Actually, the best emote is when you do the ramen emote and then you immediately go to the John Travolta emote. He'll hold the ramen bowl in his hand during the animation.
That's pretty solid. That's actually pretty. I might have to come back and get that ramen noodle then, and then do it like 3 times in like one of the main hubs and just never play again. All right. That was PS5. We got some other goodies to talk about. Starting with Chris, please. I know you want to talk about this with me.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
We are going to be talking about Outlast Trials. Well, it's actually called The Outlast Trials, but sue me. The Outlast Trials. Do you like horror? Do you like first-person night vision? If the answer is yes to both of those, we got a game for you. Chris, help me explain why this is awesome.
Look, as I already explained to a lot of people, I'm already excited for, games like Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 8. But this is set. It's set in a time period that I feel like hasn't been really touched on that much in games, at least to my knowledge, which is during the Cold War.
And I'll double down on that as an opposition. We've gotten leaks. People who know, we've gotten leaks about that new Call of Duty Black Ops being set in the Cold War. So it seems like somebody's talking about Cold War shit, because this is like opening up. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And I mean, like me personally, Outlast is another one of those titles, just like Resident Evil 7. Wanted to play it, never had the time, but one of the things that always turned me off to Outlast, at least from what I could tell from the gameplay, is it always seemed more like a Twitch game, where I would have more fun watching somebody play it than actually playing it. But now that it has multiplayer in it, I want to get a group together. I mean, I don't know how many people you're going to be able to play with, but I would love to get a group together, turn off the lights, pour myself a drink, and just go all in on it.
You know what? I say, just for the sake of that thought, when this comes out, we'll even do a Twitch stream with both of our lights off and play this game. I'm saying it right now. The ChungaBunga podcast will Twitch stream the Outlast Trials when it comes out, and it'll be spooky.
We will stream it exclusively on our OnlyFans at OnlyFans ChungaBunga.
And we're not like those thoughts. We'll do it for free. It'll be a free OnlyFans.
Can you even do that?
I don't know, but if you can, we're gonna do it.
I mean, if you can have a Twitch account for free, I'm sure you can have an OnlyFans account for free.
It's basically the same thing these days. That's coming out 2021, so when it comes out, or when it comes into early access or whatever, we'll be on it. And we will be terrified, because those games are scary as shit.
We're not going to be any Nolan North on Twitch, but we'll try.
Oh man, Nolan North, what an awesome dude. I didn't even think I was going to see him there. I didn't look into the game show as much as I thought I did. He showed up and I was like, dope! Nathan Drake, Nolan North, alright. That's the first.
Fun fact, he plays the Ghost, your trusted companion in Destiny 2.
It's true. I didn't know that because I don't really play Destiny, but you did, and thank God.
Yeah. No one cares.
Everyone cares.
So.
All right, dude. But yeah, he was on Games Radar, right?
Yes, he was on the Games Radar Future Games Show. Got a lot of cool things.
And we saw. Yeah. We saw. So.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Hold on. I want to say the 1 or 2 things I was pretty excited about on that was Morbid 7 Acolytes, that Dark Souls-esque top-down pixel art. Yeah, the only turn off for me is the pixel art. but the
It's
game
not
looks
so
really cool. It looks neat.
It's not so bad, just because I've played a lot of pixel art games, and I've played a lot of games like even like Dead Cells that has this
Yeah.
weird like design, and the game doesn't entirely look super good, but it plays like butter. I think it's gonna be cool. As far as like the monsters and like the combat that we saw, it looked like it's gonna be like a really fun experience. But we'll talk about it more as we get more information. It did look really cool though. I'm down for it if it brings more to the table. In that future game show, I saw a lot of cool things. I saw Neon Abyss, which I thought was really cool. I really like Enter the Gungeon rather, and this kind of seemed like a platform version of that game where you get all these silly guns and you get all this crazy stuff. I didn't really see a lot of multiplayer. I really hope it becomes like available for multiplayer, because this type of game would be really cool. Just like shooting off all these lasers or all these things out of your guns. I saw that it had a bunch of mini games and a bunch of stuff to gain new items. So that was really cool. It was
Skater XL, dude.
Yes, but one more thing about Neon Abyss.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. One more thing about Neon Abyss. The reason why I think it's going to be multiplayer, or the reason why I say multiplayer at all, is because it's made by Team 17. And if you don't know Team 17, where have you been? How old are you? Because they are the makers of the extremely popular Worms game. If you haven't played Worms, for the love of God, play Worms. It is...
Worms Armageddon.
Worms Armageddon, Worms anything. WMD or whatever it's called. Great games.
Worms of Mass Destruction.
Yes. Awesome games. They made Overcooked. If you are a culinarian, such as like myself, that's a really fun, goofy game.
Is that what they're called now? Culinarians?
Yeah. I am... Well, I can't consider myself a chef just yet. I haven't gone through the proper channels. But Overcooked, super fun, super goofy, like multiplayer game where you make creations with your team, and there's all these obstacles you gotta like jump over, like train cars or this and that. It's really fun and goofy.
Mm-hmm.
And the new game, Moving Out, which is also a really fun, goofy game. If you ever hated moving out of a place because you got to take all your shit out and then put it somewhere else, it's probably not the game for you, unless you enjoy breaking through people's windows while you're moving a couch out, because that's what this is. It's basically moving your stuff out of your house simulator. Very cute game, very fun. I would call it something close to like Gang Beast style physics, but that's just another thing to look forward to. You were talking about Skater XL, right, Cody?
Oh yeah, Skater XL, man. It's been a while since I've played a skating game. Maybe like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 or something like that, like really long time. But this looks like a whole new level. And like they really like redesigned the entire genre from the ground up. Like they're using both joysticks to control each foot instead of, just press X to jump or bunny or a ollie.
Yeah.
And it's all physics based. So like whatever you do with your feet with the controls, the joysticks, it'll do different things. Like you can nose ride like or pop a nollie or something,
All those crazy
really
sounding
cool. Yeah.
skateboard moves. So when we saw the stream, we were like
360 Bucky Lassick Christ Air Coon.
Yes. So when we saw the stream, we were
Not
looking
even
at
English.
it, and we were like, "Oh man, this is a brand new skating game." Then I like looked at the Steam page and I was like, "Oh, dude, this came out like 2 years ago." This was in early access for like 2 years, so they've been working on this game for a while now. And I was looking through the development updates, and I was like, a bunch of new cool stuff keeps coming up. Like the game's coming out, I think on the 20th or 28th? I can't quite remember right now. I think it's July 28th or something like that. But
is that what it is? They're just ready to bring it out finally?
They're ready to bring it out, and they brought like a new map to hold people over until the release date because they had to push it back. what else? I was looking at it. It had a really cool soundtrack. At least the trailer did. It was very cool, like old school 2000 skate video. And I think it has mod support, so you can make your own skate park and then upload it to Steam, and then other people can play it. I remember seeing a video because they have real world skate spots in the game, and it's all like this giant like skate park with like a bunch of skate spots. I saw since I'm from LA, so a big skate spot out here is the stairs at Hollywood High. There was a mod that somebody put of the what was it? I think it's the 16 and the 12 stack stairs out there. So if you like skating and you like visiting the places that you would skate at or what you would love to skate at, this is the game for you. It's really cool. It's got a lot of love into it for sure. Like, game looks cool, physics engine looks cool. I saw a dude get his nuts destroyed in the trailer, and that's what I wanted from the beginning.
That was the best part of the entire trailer.
It's the only part that mattered if it was going to be a good game. And it has real life skating spots. So I mean, what else do you want? It's like if Skate 4 came out, you know?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of like cool games too, not just like stuff that's already released, like Ghost Runner.
Yes.
You're basically like Genji running around. Looked really cool. I don't know if I'd play it, but it's out there for somebody, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
If you like Genji's ult, but all the time, there it is.
yeah.
Windjammers is coming. I think a new Windjammers, which is dope. If you haven't played it, it's super fun. It's like ultimate battle frisbees, I guess is the best way to explain it. It sounds dumb, super fun. All these crazy abilities, all these crazy like frisbee throws, super competitive, not like ranked competitive, but super competitive game. And it goes by so fast. It's just like this arcade style like super Pong, you know?
What about that new Sherlock Holmes game?
I like Sherlock Holmes games. This one looks a little weird because it is like pre-Sherlock Holmes, like pre-super detective Sherlock Holmes, super
very, very flamboyant looking, I'll say that.
He's a very pretty boy. That Sherlock.
Very pretty boy.
Yeah, I mean, that seems cool. It seems like it has a lot of cool things going for it if you like those type of puzzle games.
What about that All Guns Blazing game?
I don't have too much to say about All Guns Blazing, the Signy. No, I don't have too much to say about it. I thought I would, but I was like, I was like, whatever. I have more to say about
it. Looks neat.
I have more to say
They're
about
always fun.
Carry On, which is that game where you're like that crazy blob that had all those tentacles coming out. It's almost like the game.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's like the game Inside. Like at the end of Inside, you become that weird, crazy like blob monster. That looked really cool. What was it? The Captain is Dead. It was all right. It's like spaceship management. Yeah. It was all right.
What about Waifu Tales? Persona Waifu.
Oh yeah,
Chris Tales.
Chris Tales. That was all right.
Chris Tales. Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's probably not for me. That's the waifu game. It's not for me.
Hot Shot Racing.
I don't
remember that one.
I don't either, because I was too busy thinking about that Twisted Metal Derby game. I was like, that one got me.
Yeah, it's just some racing game.
Yeah, like what else did we see? We saw like Gran Turismo. Like,
get to the orange door, dude. It's like Doom with like Risk of Rain graphics.
Yeah, Get to the Orange Door was really weird and cool. It follows that like neo techno weird crazy shit aesthetic that a lot of the indie games have had these days. Movement looks crazy. It looks like you just move so fast in every direction. So I don't know if you like running games, that's the way. One thing I did want to talk about before we cut off is Remnant and Tarkov. So I'm just gonna say a little bit about Remnant. I play Remnant. Wonderful game. 3 players. third-person shooter. If you like Dark Souls, but you wish it had guns, Remnant's the way to go. You can pick it up on any platform. A new DLC is coming out. It's going to follow the end of the base game. And looks solid. Like, new bosses look like they have new mechanics, new phases that they go through. The DLC before this had like a nightmare or a super nightmare mode that made the game even harder if you love playing hard games.
Yeah.
But don't take it from me. Go to the YouTube channels. Check out Remnant. Super cool game.
Yeah, check out Wasteland 3. Check out, there's a bunch of games that were announced.
Yeah, Wasteland 3. Disintegration looked like a cool one. It looked like it might even be like Titanfall and Destiny together. So that's another good one to look into. That's coming out.
It looked neat.
That one's coming
very,
out
very
soon.
post-apocalyptic kind of.
Yeah.
Cybery.
Yeah. What were you gonna say about Wasteland?
Wasteland 3 is definitely going to be something that we talk about in the future.
Yes. Wasteland 3, Divinity Original Sin 2, and Baldur's Gate are games that we're going to talk about into
what's
the future.
that Korean JR or the Korean RPG game that's being ported over to English?
Yeah.
The one that you like, Chris.
Are you talking about Lost Ark?
Lost Ark, yeah. I can't wait for that.
I could script an entire episode of the ChungaBunga podcast around Lost Ark. That is the sleeper game. That is the sleeping giant of Diablo-like games, and we'll get more into that in a future episode. But that game is going to take our country by storm.
Yeah, let's finish this off with Tarkov, man. Like, we're all excited. Well, maybe a little bit less, but we're pretty excited about Tarkov.
No, okay. So what I saw on that trailer, I'm excited for it now. Okay. The game I played before that.
Yeah. So it's a new map. Like, that's what we're talking about. There's a new map called Streets of Tarkov, I think, right? Is that like
I think that's what everybody thinks that's what it is.
That's what it looks like.
It's going to be called Streets of Tarkov.
Yeah, like it's not just that, but like it looks like they did a lot of upgrading to their engine, to their like everything about it just looked like it runs smoother. We're not sure if it's just because of like the presentation or if it actually has been upgraded and run better, like more optimized.
Yeah.
But
the only thing
that has reason to pick up the game now for sure. Like if you haven't played before.
The only thing that has me worried about, in terms of the performance at least, is anyone who's played Escape from Tarkov knows that if you play the game in offline mode, the performance you get is significantly better than when you're actually playing it online. So my only worry is that, they were playing in offline mode. But even then, based off previous teasers that at least I've seen of previous maps, be it like Reserve or Interchange when it was announced, like the performance just looks better.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. So not just that though, right? They're also like expanding customs. Making it 30 to 40% bigger.
So
new skill system update. And then for Streets of Tarkov, going back, like they're introducing a senator boss that has like a unique mechanic that none of the other bosses have. Right, Chris?
Yeah. Actually, the senator is going to be a scav boss that comes out in Shoreline, but before that, just to give people a little bit of preference, because I know that even though Tarkov has had a boom because of their Twitch event, not a lot of people might know what the game actually is because the population is still relatively small. If you're like me, games like Overwatch, Valorant, Call of Duty, like those games, they just get too repetitive and boring. It's just the same thing. You're running around, popping skills every now and then, and mindlessly shooting things. They all sum up to about the quality of Destiny 2 PvP, in my opinion. But with Tarkov, everything's at stake. Like you build up your character, you build up your guns, you invest so much time and effort into crafting the perfect killing machine. And when you get killed, you lose everything. You lose.
All right. You know what?
Hours of work.
Yeah.
We definitely come back to this, and you know, we have a lot to say about Tarkov. Okay, we're getting friends involved.
Yeah, there's so much stuff going on, like ridiculous amount of stuff going on.
We need a whole nother podcast to talk about Tarkov,
which is what we're gonna do next podcast.
But yeah, we're all excited about the technical update, and yeah, can't wait.
Yes, but you know, we've taken a lot of time. We've talked about a whole bunch of stuff today. We'll let you guys digest that, and we will be back next week with another episode of the ChungaBunga podcast. And from me, Ish, and my compatriots here, Chris and Cody.
Yeah.
We will see your asses next week. Thanks,
ChungaBunga, dudes.
Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you later.
Stay classy, internet.
Last word.